Welcome to the Startempire Wire Founders Podcast, where we make entrepreneurial founders a top priority. Each episode features risk takers, business builders, community shapers, institutional and government supporters in our local startup ecosystem. Tune in weekly to hear all about what's happening with the movers and the shakers of Southern California's Inland Empire and beyond. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Founders Podcast. Today we are with Oscar Garcia of A Good Story Company. Oscar, we're going to let Oscar introduce himself. So go ahead and take it over, Oscar.
Well, how's it going, everybody? My name is Oscar Garcia, and I have a media company. I mainly follow storytelling and business. The reason why I love what I do to such degree is because, you know, growing up, I actually came from a different country. I came here about 10 years ago. Didn't really know much about, you know, how the US system works. I didn't know how the college system works. I came as a freshman in high school, and,
Nice.
you know, coming from a different country, it was a little tough because everything is different. Everything from the food to the language, even the culture is extremely different. And so I used to have a perception on what this life was going to be like based on, you know, the TV shows that I used to watch back home, back in Mexico. I used to watch like iCarly and all these things. And I used to think to myself, yo, like that life must be really nice. Everybody seems to be getting along with everybody. But then the harsh reality is that, you know, there's a lot of bullying here, especially when you come from a different country and, you know, you're different, you'll be labeled as different. What are you doing here? Get out of here, go back home. And so I kind of like walked into that. Like I said earlier, didn't really know how everything worked. So I just kind of had to figure it out on my own. And it was funny because I feel like my nature is I'm somebody who's really outgoing, really friendly, and very loving.
Yeah.
And so like me coming into a place where I don't know how to communicate with people, and I don't know how, you know, tell people I need this or I need that, or even not being able to make friends because I don't speak the language. It was very frustrating to me. And so that led me to not have a lot of friends. And like I said earlier, I didn't know how the system worked. I didn't know how the college, I didn't know anything. So instead of figuring that out, and instead of like doing research, because like I said, I'm a freshman in high school, I'm about to be an adult, and I need to like figure these things out quick. Otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Well, I didn't. I kind of focused more on how can I improve my social life, because, you know, the bullying was just too rough and it was just too much for me to handle. And
if you're in high school, your social life is pretty important anyway.
Yes, exactly, man. So I kind of just focused on that. I learned English in 2 years. Nice. It only took me 2 years because I was very determined. And I fell in love with video the moment I saw like my high school create this, like, you know, I graduated in 2014. That's when YouTube became like the main entertainment platform for you know, a lot of people. And so my high school created this YouTube series called Ram TV. And so what they would do is they would make student news, student interactions. They would have the students make short films and things like that. And so when I saw that at the pep rally, I was like blown away, and I was
Mind
like,
blown.
yo, how can I be a part of this? It seems like a lot of the students who were in that were having a lot of like friends, and then they were having.
What school did you go to?
I graduated from Ramona High School here in Riverside. Okay. And so go Rams, you know.
Go Rams.
Rams. Yeah, exactly. And so, but you know, when I saw that, I was a junior when I saw the series. So I said to myself, I need to be in this. I need to be a part of this. I walked over to my TV and video teacher. Oh, actually, the next year when I became a senior, I made sure that TV and video was part of my electives. And I was in that class. And so the following year, I was already in the class, and I walked over to Mr. Sipe, my TV and video teacher. And then I asked him, Mr. Sipe, you gotta like put me in Ram TV. Like, I need to be a part of this. How can I be part of this?
Yeah.
In hopes that, I could change my social status. But I had all these like high expectations and just hoping to be there. And then it just turned into another rejection because he said, first of all, you don't speak the language very well. And you need to have a year at least before you can become a part of RAM TV. And you're already a senior. So it's like no way for me to put you in here. So I was really bummed out. And I didn't really, I was already used to the rejections because,
right.
And it wasn't until a couple of weeks after, over at my history class, my history class, we had an assignment. Can't remember what it was, but that teacher told us, you can make this assignment and you can present it to the class in the form of a song, a poem, a presentation, a video, or whatever you want. And the moment he said video, I said, say less.
Yeah, here's my opportunity.
Yeah, this is my opportunity because, I fell in love with RAM TV. I want to make videos, and then I got into the class for that reason. And so I, one of the few friends I had, his cousin was taking film classes at RCC. And so I told my friend Omar, you got to get your cousin to help us out. And that turned into just a group of friends on a Saturday morning, just creating like this quick video for my history class. And that gave me the opportunity to, experience what it was like to be a part of like a small production team, how to like direct people, how to like be in front of the camera, how to like handle different angles, how to even edit a video properly, because the guy, obviously he knew a lot, his cousin. And so that, that gave me a different experience. When this video was ready and it was ready to be presented to my history class for the first time ever, it was so exciting. I saw Mr. Cagliari pull up the video, turn the lights off, and he pressed play.
That's freaking awesome.
Everybody was so engaged into my video. And, like, their eyes were glued to the screen, and they were just kind of like looking at it and just watching it and paying attention. And I looked around, and for the first time I felt like some of them were smiling, and for the first time I felt accepted, because when the video was over, everybody started to like cheer on and have a good time. They were clapping for me, and I was just like, it was amazing. It was an amazing feeling. It didn't change my social status very much, but it definitely did change something within me. And then I said to myself, like, this video production, storytelling, I want to pursue this like further. And so I graduated high school, and I just picked up photography and I started doing videos and as a side hustle. And 7 years later, here I am, and now I do this full time. And so now I help businesses tell their story, because I remember when I had almost no friends, how everybody looked at me on that video like a movie star. And so it was such a great feeling that I want people who don't think they're good looking, I want to create a piece and tell their story so they can look at themselves on that big screen and just be like, wow, I feel like a movie star. You know what I mean?
All right, you gonna make me look good?
Yeah, bro, for reals, bro.
All right.
Honestly, so quality is just like one of like I'm very picky about quality, so
that's awesome.
I try to push that joint like really high.
Yeah, and for those of you who are watching the podcast, I just want to let you know that yes, you need to check out Oscar's work. And part of the reason why we have him on the Founders Podcast is because, I know Oscar through a mutual friend, but it was the video and his video Startup that I was like, hey, we need to get this guy on the podcast, man. But he's a good friend also as well, too.
Like, check out this frame, man. Like, look at this.
I'm not going to tell y'all he spent like 3 hours setting that up. I'm just messing with you.
Come on, stop blaming me.
All right, here we go. So next question. Next question is, we talked about the origin.
Okay,
yeah, that's great. Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay, because I feel like it took a little long. Okay, cool.
You're good, bro. Let it flow. Let it flow. So after that introduction of who your startup is, my question to you is going to be a little bit more in depth. How are you number one, what are the needs you're meeting with what you do at a good story company? And then, how are you meeting those needs with your current clients that you're working with?
I realized that, there every single day, there's always a business starting, whether it's here in the Inland Empire, whether it's here in California, Texas, wherever, there are businesses starting every single day for all sorts of industries, right? No matter what industry you're in, I guarantee you, and before I say what I'm about to say, let's just be honest with ourselves. And let's just say that when we start a business, we think that we're the best at that business. We think that we can offer the best service to our potential clients better than the competition. We think that our product or service is better than our competitions, and we want clients that are going to work with us and not the competition. But guess what? Because what I said earlier, there's a lot of businesses starting every single day. You're going to have lots of competition. No matter what industry you're in, there's always tons of competition that comes with it.
So in the video field, with you doing video stories for these companies, I'm sure competition is a lot higher with what you're doing too, right?
Exactly. And you're not wrong. I mean, there is a lot of demand for video work. And so, of course, it's natural that I'm going to encounter this competition. So how can I set myself apart from everybody else? And that, my friend, the answer is a story. You got to tell your story. You got to be honest with your clients. See, in today's marketing, and this has evolved throughout the years, whereas before, the way marketing worked, it was, you come up with a product and, it's got this, you start stating facts, and, you start stating the capabilities of that product and what it can do and how it can perform better than, whatever else is out there. But in reality, people don't care for those facts. People don't care for those statements because they don't register with our minds. If you're giving a presentation and on your product, maybe you're selling phones and you're telling your potential clients that, how many gigabytes it's got, how much, amounts of RAM it's got. Like, people are going to listen to this and they're going to be like, okay, that's cool. But most people are going to forget the moment, that presentation is over, because our brains aren't registered to remember those things, especially if you only told those once, you know what I mean? So, but it's different when it comes to a story. If you really pay attention, if you really, read your history, the way us human beings, the way we communicate, we use stories to communicate. When we are hanging out with our friends, we usually tell the stories on how our week went. And a lot of the times, people will remember the stories. Everybody's had that friend who's just got that one story. And when we're hanging out, you'll be like, hey, yo, Mark, tell them the story about, when this happened. You know what I mean? It's natural. We remember these things. Even the moment somebody tells us the story for the first time, if it's a powerful story and it's kind of deep or whatever, or it's funny, we'll usually remember it pretty quick. So it's the same thing in business. So when it comes to business, people want to know, who are you working with? You know what I mean? Me as a business owner, I suffered bullying. I had no friends. You heard my story earlier, but the moment I felt, when I created that video for my history class, the moment that feeling I got, it was very special to me. And so I want my clients to feel that same feeling. And so to me, I mean, this was a short version of my story, but I can go in depth and make it, bring out those sentimental feelings and those feelings that people want and seek. We are humans. We have feelings. We feel too. So it's important for us to portray those things when we tell our story. People are going to remember. And so for people who just listen to my story and they kind of, understand what I went through, it's easier for them to be like, you know what, I want to work with this guy, especially if the quality is there. If they go and check out my work and then they see the quality of my work and then they hear my story, it's more likely that they're going to pick me over somebody else that just promises them like, the perfect customer service or whatever, I mean,
Right.
I can offer that too, but when you tell your story, it gives you a special connection with that business and that potential client. Like, you feel more connected, you're bridging that gap. It's like, I feel like I can work with this business because I feel like I know them a little
Yeah.
deeper, like a
Yeah.
friend. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so it's extremely important to tell your story.
I love it. The Inland Empire startup ecosystem industry is tremendously fragmented. A few top-tier hubs, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and San Diego, are well covered by media, events, and data platforms. Finding reliable information relevant to startups or the tech industry in the Inland Empire is extremely difficult. As a result, startups can't scale fast enough. Investors are having a hard time finding the right deals, and corporates can't find the right companies to partner with for their innovation activities. Startempire Wire, the leading Inland Empire startup publication, is providing the Inland Empire startup ecosystem with the most accurate, engaging business and financial data, events, and news. Our reach of entrepreneurs, C-level executives, angels, VC investors, startup employees, key management at innovative corporates, and big tech is the solution for your B2B or B2C needs. As we build out our platform, we're looking for partners. This is your opportunity to get in on the ground level. If you're looking to align yourself with the local and growing startup and tech ecosystem of the Inland Empire, we have created the platform to get your name noticed and the opportunity for you to grow the recognition of your brand. Contact us today for availability and pricing options. We look forward to our partnership with you. So you're demonstrating to others through your work for your clients that people can know, like, and trust the people you work with. So you're telling story through video. And tell us about how you come up with your name. Is that the whole reason? Because your name is a good story company.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
everybody loves a good story. I mean, it's no lie. You know what I mean? This is how movies are made. And one more thing, our brains are wired to follow a story structure, right? There always has to be a problem. There always has to be, first of all, there always has to be a normal, right? Your normal life.
Yeah.
There has to be a problem happening.
Yeah.
Then there has to be a solution, which is the product or the service. And then now there's a new normal. Now you change customer's life with your product or service. So right there, I just structured a whole story, and that's easy for people to remember. If we can use an example, is maybe I'll just come up with a random story. Maybe imagine somebody who's renting a home, right? Imagine dad and mom and daughter, right? Renting a home. What happens? Imagine if the daughter came to the dad and she was like, "Dad, can we get a dog? Can I get a dog? I feel lonely. Can we get a dog for my birthday?" What if the dad really loves his daughter, and then he goes to the landlord and asks him, like, "Yo, can we have a dog in the property?" What if the landlord says, "No, you can't have a dog in my property. What are you talking about? You're insane. I will never allow you to have pets." That father is going to come back to his daughter, and it's going to feel a little frustrated. You know what I mean? To tell her that, I'm sorry, you can't have a dog. Now, if you're a real estate agent, you're the solution to that problem, because you can come in, talk to those parents and be like, "You know what? I'll solve your problem. It seems like you're having a problem. I'll help you buy a home. I'll structure this plan out for you so you can be in a better position to buy your first home if you've never owned one." And because that real estate agent took the time and the care for his clients, he or she was able to help them buy a home. And now it changed their lives. Now the dad, and now imagine, a few months forward or a year forward, now you see a different picture with the whole family and the dog. You know what I mean? Now you just
Yes.
created a whole impact on a family, and that was an actual story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now you went from normal, you're renting an apartment, you have no dog, your daughter is sad, you know, there's a problem, she wants a dog, but you can't have it because the landlord won't allow you. Now you're a real estate agent with a service and a solution, and now you're offering them the opportunity to become homeowners. And now there's a new normal, which is now they live in their first home, happy family with a dog. And you structure that exactly the way I just did it. Now you created a story that's easier to remember. And I'm sure if you leave this place, or if you watch this podcast, you'll always remember that story. You know what I mean? Because it's easy.
Yeah.
It's super easy. It's super simple.
Yeah.
And
you
if
can
you tell it the right way.
Yeah. Whenever you see people, you can ask them about the story that you
exactly.
tell them.
and if you lay that out on a really nice video, and then you start pushing that out to your clients, you'll compel them, and they'll be like, yo, I'm in this position. I want to experience homeownership because I might have the similar problem, or my problem might not be the same, that I need a dog, but it's just, I really need to buy a home. If that agent were to make a video like that and he pushes it out to its potential clients or potential leads, they'll be like, I want this real estate agent to help me buy a home. You know what I mean? And so that's Perfect. What we want. And it was done through a story.
Nice. All right. So tell us about the growth. How long have you been doing this? And what are some of the growing pains that you've had while doing this, offering the service that you offer? Give us a little bit of insight.
So I have years of camera work experience. I mean, since my high school, really. I started it was a little side hustle, and I've just been working my butt off, and I just launched full-time last September. And let me tell you, the entrepreneurship life, it's not easy. It's really not.
Really?
There's a lot of challenges.
It's a breeze.
There's a lot of challenges.
You mean like you're not just like making millions of dollars after day one, like all the other entrepreneurs out there? Nah.
I wish, man. If it was that easy, man, everybody could do it.
So it's a commitment. Are you saying it's a commitment?
It's a huge commitment to yourself. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be this hard. But it is tough. But let me tell you, when you're doing something that is your passion, you could be overworking yourself. It will never feel like work.
Why? Why?
Because you love what you do.
To you, is it just because you love what you do, or is there other reasons why?
No, I solely love what I do, bro. I love seeing
absolutely. But
bro, absolutely.
Do you have any? Why do you love it? Give me a why. Why do you?
Because I have the opportunity to create something that's gonna help other people elevate their business. And let me tell you, I love seeing people's reactions when they pull up that video for the first time and they're like, yo, that's dope. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because once again, quality is my priority, and especially if it's a powerful story, I go above and beyond to make sure that, that I make them look their best, like movie stars, I tell you. So, and I just get such a satisfaction because I did that and I helped them do that. And then they're going to go and push this video out. And when people see this video, they're going to be like, whoa, that's you in that video? Yo, it's such a great feeling. Let me tell you, not everybody can have that feeling.
One specific growing pain.
I think it's really finding a way to deliver great customer service even when you're super busy, because like you'll encounter yourself, like for me recently, I've been extremely busy. It's a blessing. I've been extremely busy with work, where I feel like it's tough for me to like, follow with people, give them a call, or like ask them like if it's the work, it's okay, if something needs to be changed.
Yeah.
And why is this a pain? Because it's hard for me to, okay, when you're when you're about to grow, especially for me, I need to start thinking about, handing out my job and trusting other people, because at one point I'm gonna have to hire somebody.
Wait, you just recently brought one person on, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I hired somebody recently, and they're my editor. And it's tough to hand that job away to him, because I know I am very, picky the way I edit. And so
Yes.
I don't expect other people to do it the same way I do it. So
Yes.
it takes a lot of training,
Yeah.
but because you're also very busy, like, you have to, really be cautious with your time and how you're spending your time. And a lot of the times you have more things to do than you have time. And, you have to sacrifice little things here and there, or you have to be working really late at the office, just trying to train this person and handing these jobs to them and making sure that the job is done correctly.
Checking in.
Yeah, it can be difficult, but once you do train that person, and then they start meeting the expectations that you laid out for them, it's not gonna be so much of a pain, because it is at the beginning, because like I said, nobody's gonna do the job like you do because you love it. But then it's also gonna feel rewarding, because now you're growing. You're growing. Now you're not the same person. Now, like I said earlier, now I have more time to really check in with my clients and be like, because I don't have to have in the back of my mind that I need to be editing this video, because I already have my guy doing it for me.
So you're buying your time back.
I'm buying my time back. You know what I mean? But it's a great experience. It's a great feeling. I do at one point want to be able to like hire, and give the opportunity, because let me tell you, it's not easy like being in this industry. You said it yourself earlier, there's a lot of video production companies out there. There's a lot of like there's a lot of freelancers that would do this type of job for you, and so it's really easy to like get started. And so for me to like being on this growth mode, it's very accomplishing. And obviously we don't want to slow down, but I do at one point want to be able to like hire videographers, photographers, whole editing team, and just give them the opportunity to get started themselves, and maybe one day encourage them to like go on their own. And I just give them like, a little push, because it's not easy. I mean, there's so much competition, but when you are working with like already an established company, it makes things easier for you, especially if you want to like, apply to some job in LA as a videographer. Like you can definitely use, I worked for a good story company for X amount of like years, and I definitely want to make things easier for people.
Nice.
That's kind of what I want to do in the future. But
so you can't scale yourself. That's one of the main things that I always think about, and I feel your pain on that, man. Next question. Here we go. What are the current needs of your startup, like at this moment? What do you need?
What do I need? Oh man, I need $1 million in my bank account.
A good story company would definitely do well with $1 million, right?
Yes, so, man.
Outside of financial funding, what would you say is the immediate need of what you're doing with a good story company?
What is the immediate need that is not financial?
Mm-hmm. I mean, because every startup does need money, but we're looking. Okay, if it weren't money, what is that unique need, like to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish now? What would you put your money towards if you had $1 million? What would you put your money towards?
Ooh, I guess you can never go wrong with equipment. Definitely, you can have multiple cameras, multiple angles. The lighting is very important. So if you really think about it, it's not so much about the camera that you're using, but it's about the lighting and how you shape the light in order to, you know, achieve true quality, true movie quality. And that's one of the things I strive for, to make sure, you know, on my videos, like the lighting is just popping, you know. And so I definitely invest a lot into into equipment. I also would offer people jobs. I mean, you know, you can have people.
You gotta grow, like,
grow.
And that's one of the things that I've learned as well. That, you know, John Maxwell said, one is too small a number for success.
Yeah.
And so I just began to add people to my team. Now I have like 11 people.
Oh, nice.
I got 11 people, four on web development side and 7 over here. So 11 people in total. Yeah, it's really hard if you're not hiring people and buying back your time to get bigger.
Exactly. So I guess for any industry, you know, as the captain, you know, there's only so far you can go on your own. That's one thing I'm realizing too, you know. I mean, I love what I do. I mean, I love being the one filming and I love being the one editing, but that ain't gonna get me so far. So I need to start hiring people that can go out, like, you know, Alex, I have these 3 clients that, you know, they need monthly work. You know, these are going to be your 3 clients. You're going to film for them, like all 3 of them a month. And, you know, you'll have, you know, Jose, you're going to have these other 3 clients and you're going to film for them. And so it's like, if you're really trying to scale, you also have to, you know, increase the amount of people you bring into your team. That's one thing I'm realizing. And then I'm glad I'm realizing these things like at a really young age.
It's early. I'm telling you, you're learning this like early. Like the struggles that you have with delegation, I didn't have until like 3 years into what I was doing with web development. So 3 years into my career as, you know, lifestyle business, you know, like web developer, I learned, okay, man, I have to hire somebody. So that was 3 years into everything. And just recently have I gotten it, you know, more systematic as well, because there are systems that you can put in place. Make it way better. And so,
you know what? And you, I remember you and I were having a conversation and you said something that really stuck out. You said that when you're in growth mode, like obviously as the captain of the ship, your problems never go away. You just create problems that are at a higher caliber. You know what I mean? At another level. And so that's one of the things that everybody who's starting a business should really keep in mind, that your problems will never go away. Just yesterday, I was one of my clients. She owns a small business.
No more boring problems.
No,
right?
exactly. No, big time. So one of my clients, she owns a small business, a small business in Norco. Yeah. And the register, when she was trying to close the register, something went wrong, and then she had to stay there for, after closing, I think it was 5 p.m. She had to stay there for an extra 3 hours, counting every transaction that went through. You know what I mean? That's something like her regular employees can't do. You know, it's only her the one that can do that. But it's just like, you know, those are the type of problems. And I'm sure that, you know, the more she grows, she's going to have different problems. And then each problem is going to be more hard. But then that's also a good thing, because it's going to make you grow as a person. You know, it's going to keep those like gears turning. And this is what we want, because this is the exciting part about life, you know?
Yes. You know, and like if she were like a corporation, she'd probably have every, you know, like a large corporation, you know, like real big. The way companies get big is they take those things like that only she can do, that only she knows how to do. They take all of that knowledge and they put it into documentation. So she would probably have everything that she needed to do in documentation and have these employees trained, you know, but as a smaller business, you can't really always do that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And she might get to that point, you know, she might get to that point.
Absolutely.
Which is the goal, you know? But I just find it really amazing how the problems never go away. And then
it's a good thing.
And you know, it is a good thing. And I feel like, I don't know, okay, just speaking for myself, because I don't know what everybody else feels. I'm excited. I feel like that keeps the adrenaline, and then it keeps you on your toes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so if you're not somebody who's willing to take the problems on, because you're gonna have angry customers, you're gonna have, you know, moments where, like, you know, you messed up doing the service, or your product didn't go as how you planned, and now you have to contact your client and tell them like bad news. And so it's like, these are the things that makes us uncomfortable, but like,
That's true.
you know, how are you going to handle those situations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think it's amazing. I feel like it just keeps us alive, you know. And
it's a good perspective.
It's
sure.
Yeah, everybody should have that perspective, you know. And I feel like not everybody has that, you know. And don't be afraid to ask for help. That's one thing Various will tell you. Various, how often do I call you asking you for advice?
Maybe once a week.
No, okay. maybe.
But it's all good, because, you know, I'm in it, you know, to like, I'm in it for that, you know, because I kind of see myself, you know, in some ways, I see myself mentoring, you know, anyone who wants to do that, because we're always sharing stuff. If I receive information from you in that level, you became a mentor to me as well. So
exactly.
It's all about sharing that growth, man.
Yeah. And this is why I love this community that you're building.
Yeah.
Because exactly, you're creating that community, and you're like, you know, the trunk of the tree, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're bringing everybody together. And so, like, I know I've met a few businesses through you because of the Startempire Wire.
That's
and
awesome.
So like, I know I can reach out to those businesses and be like, okay, so how do you guys do this? Or like, oh, I need a company that can do this. Or for example, a good example, you threw out an event, and I met this company who was doing a photo booth, you know. And so one of my clients reached out to me, and they asked me if I have a photo booth. I said, no, that's not what I do. I mean, it's within the same industry, sort of, but I don't specifically do photo booth. I don't have one. But thanks, because of the event that you threw out, like for the founders night, I was able to meet a guy who had a photo booth, and I was able to send this client, you know, that guy that I met at one of the meetups. And so, you know, and that's great to have that opportunity, you know what I mean? Because when you launch yourself solo, it's kind of like you need to make friends with other businesses.
You need a community.
You need a community to fall back on. And
that's what I see about the startup ecosystem. Like, you know, there's so many aspects of the startup ecosystem. A lot of people love the high growth startups, high growth tech startups, venture investment. That's all necessary, and that's all a part of the startup ecosystem. But then you have people who are part of the startup ecosystem, like you and I. We're kind of like service providers. You know, we do, you know, you do photography, you do videos, a good story company. I do web development, you know, but really focusing in here on Startempire Wire as well, but bringing everybody together and connecting every person to every person is really those organic connections. That's top of the list for me right now.
Yeah, and it makes you it gives you almost sort of like a safe spot too, you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I would trust anybody that that you trust, that's another business. I would trust that business, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
When you don't have that community, it's just kind of like, you have to try out different people and see who
you got it
better for you, you know. But
that's so true.
Out of all the people I met through you and through everything you're doing, I mean, everybody's just so down to earth, and you know, everybody's just willing to grow, and I love to see that, you know, because I am that type of person too. And so, and if I can help any of the businesses that, you know, that I've met, I would definitely help them too, you know.
We definitely want
growth.
Yeah, we want people to be reaching out to you for sure, and we're gonna get your information out there. So tell us really quickly your give me two short-term immediate goals that you're focused on.
Short-term?
For your business, for your business. Two short-term goals.
So 2 short-term goals. So goal number 1, I want to get 10 clients, recurring clients that I can build a long-term relationship with, clients who are willing to spend anywhere in between $6,000 and $7,000 yearly, annually on their marketing. You know, I have a couple clients that do YouTube shows, and so that, because honestly, with today's day and age, there's just so much marketing out there. Like,
it's a lot. Yeah.
There's just so much, and so like, how do you stay ahead? Like, you gotta keep pushing out content on the regular, you know what I mean? But a lot of people, a lot of business owners don't have that privilege, you know.
That's true.
But if they were to make a budget and, you know, really stay committed that I want to spend anywhere between $6,000 and $7,000 a year, I am there. I'm willing to work with those people and, you know, create and come up with an idea of, it could be something like in Norco, I'm working with this butchery. So it's a meat market, and she brings out the grill, and I do a cooking show on how she grills the meat once a month, you know.
Nice.
And so I do that for her. I work with a couple real estate agents who also want to establish their brand and then their persona. And so I, you know, Ralph, I work with them, and I do around the house. So he goes around businesses, he interviews them, and I make a really nice video for him. Also, Jules Farmer in Norco as well. She does something similar. Her show is Where to Go in Norco. And so there are, you know, individuals and bigger businesses and even corporations who are doing this type of things. So I'm a short-term goal of mine is to find anywhere in between 10 and 15 of those clients who are willing to just kind of work with me and create that budget and just create something nice and dope for them to push out into the world. And it's consistent, you know what I mean? And hopefully they can, you know, people can really like them because of what they do. You know, go ahead.
Goal number 2.
Goal number 2 is I really want to increase the level of equipment that I have. What I have now, it can bring out a lot of quality, but you know, my camera nerdy side tells me that, you know, you need more equipment, and it's natural. It's natural, right? I mean? So honestly, I want to scale my business to the point like I want to, you know, short term, I want to get better equipment so I can just bring out more quality. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know,
cool.
I want to go to the field with a really nice hammer. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Get those nails down.
All right. Long-term goals: 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years. Ooh. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Answer that question.
In first. 3 years, I definitely see myself.
A good story company. Where do you see a good story company?
I definitely see a good story company being more established, have a better reputation in various industries such as real estate, healthcare. I want to reach out those type of industries, and then I have a reputation going.
Yes.
And you know, I have recurring work. People like to work with me, and then I have a small team. That's just kind of how I see myself in 3 years.
5 years.
5 years. 5 years. I definitely see myself, in a different position that I was in 3 years. Maybe a bigger team. I'm offering like more job opportunities. I'm expanding maybe down to like the LA area, you know, not just the Inland Empire. And then I have like more systems in place.
Systems, that's a good word.
You know, that and I want to be able to oversee everything, you know what I mean?
Nice.
So that's just kind of how I see myself in 3 years.
5
years, I mean.
10 years. 10 years.
10 years.
I know.
Oh man, I'm gonna be what, 36? Well,
you're gonna be young still.
No, man. By the time I'm 36, man, it's gonna be a completely different me. You know,
a good story company.
A good story company is definitely gonna be known by a lot of people. I'm gonna get, you know, recognized as one of the top media companies for sure.
Top media company is where?
Hey man, in the US.
In the US,
baby.
Okay.
Don't play with me.
Hey, I want to hear you define it.
You know, I definitely am gonna have my own office somewhere in the Bay Area, in LA.
The Bay Area, you want to move there?
Hey, that's where all the tech companies are going to, man. Everybody's going to the Bay Area.
Well,
you know.
you don't want to build a high rise out here in the Inland Empire.
Hey, I could have multiple offices, man.
There you go. All right.
Hey, no, I definitely love that Inland Empire. You know what? You're right. Let's put the Inland Empire on the map. I'll definitely have a big old office here. I operate out of Riverside. I grew up in Riverside.
Keller Williams building won't be the only high rise in Corona.
Exactly. I want to be able to have a big old office. I have my, everybody that I hired it's got their own cubicle. They're just working on what they love.
Yeah.
I can bring clients, and then, I definitely want to pimp out an office where it's got like different like themes to the office. So I can definitely film people and like different backgrounds and different, environments per se within the office. Right. I definitely want to be able to like not move to bigger industries like Hollywood. I want to be able to create commercials for like Nike, Adidas, Apple, and just kind of like push the storytelling biz out there to the people that really want to like create and then compel their audiences. I really want to do that.
I really do believe, I honestly believe that the Inland Empire has been in development. It's been in flux for a long time. There's a lot of things going on underneath the surface. It just needs the right push and like one or two major successful startups. Things are changing out here. So like that's the reason why we're even doing the Founders Podcast, is because I know there's more out here than meets the eye, and you got to have an opposite push, because there's already a push. LA Times writes articles pretty regularly about, how honestly not good the Inland Empire is. So that's part of the reason Startempire Wire is really focused here on the IE first. And that's a goal.
People need to be checking out what you're doing too, because you're definitely a really good source to like really find out like about this information and what's really going on in the Inland Empire, because this is what you do, you know what I mean? So if you like really want to know and you're curious about what's really happening and how the Inland Empire is evolving for the future, I mean, there's eyes on us. Like a lot of people are eyeing the Inland Empire. We're catching up really quick, and I just love how you're on top of it. And so it's like, for the people who are made it to this point, definitely check out the Start Empire Wire. You'll definitely find some good information there on what's going on currently in the Inland Empire.
I greatly appreciate that, but this interview is about you, sir.
Oh.
All right, so last question. Where can people find you? Where can people find a good story company? Where are you at on the internet? Tell us.
Definitely check me out. My website is agoodstorycompany.com. No spaces.
Nice.
I do all sorts of storytelling. I have various products. I have a value story, which is showcase the value of your product. I got the founder story, which is the story of you, the founder, and how you came to be where you're at now. I got a customer story where I get your past clients to talk really good about you, because I know it could be awkward for us to say that we're the best, and especially if we say that on video, a lot of people are going to call us like, cocky or conceited. But hey, guess what? Your clients can say that all day about you and you got sent by God to help them. And then like that, it's a thing. It's a thing. So true. I got the customer stories, and I got the purpose stories, which is like a story about what your purpose is and where you're headed, So I got that going on too. So agoodstorycompany.com online, and you can also find me on Instagram. Same, A Good Story Company. And I'll be able to pop up there. So definitely give me a call if you really have a powerful story that needs to be told. Definitely, I'd love to work with you.
So make sure you guys reach out to Oscar on Instagram. He's sharing some great things all the time in his stories. A Good Story Company is in the Instagram story that follow him. And also, Oscar, one last thing. Is there anything else that you would like people to know? Any upcoming promotions? Anything you're doing like they need to be aware of right now?
Well, right now I'm working on a story for Various.
Oh,
Hey, come on, bro. So definitely, if you definitely want to see some good work, be on the lookout for that. I'm working with my boy Various to tell his story. I don't know if you wanted to put that out there, but
that's cool, bro. I mean, I will put it out there. They'll be watching for it, and they'll know that you are the one who. Well, we'll have your logo and everything on there as well too. But yeah, no, freaking awesome, dude. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Oscar, A Good Story Company, and hit him up via his website, via Instagram. Do you got a number they can call if they want to call you?
951-286-7839. So that's my phone number.
Hit
you
him
can
up,
call me or text me or email me. My email is oscarg@agoodstorycompany.com. Once again, oscarg@agoodstorycompany.com. So send me an email, send me a text, give me a call. I'm available most of the time. I'm pretty good at calling back, following up.
Oh yeah, he definitely follows. He follows up, ladies and gentlemen. So awesome. All right, so once again, thank you for coming, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having
me here.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching the Founders Podcast. Be sure to catch us on all of the major channels. We're on YouTube as a video. Then we're on every major platforms: iTunes, Spotify, Google, even some other, just like other podcasts. If you don't use any of those, just Google Startempire Wire Founders Podcast. We're always there. Once again, join us on the next Founders Podcast. Thank you for tuning in this time, and have a great day. Peace.
Peace.